G'day, I'm Bruce, and in this video we're going to have a look at this old Garrett tree farmer log skidder. Looks like a pretty heavy duty old machine. Everything here is pretty strongly built. It's got the grapple on the back here to grab the logs and lift them off the ground and tow them away. This one's got the transmission pulled out of it at present, but we're just having a look at just everything on it is made of very thick metal. Look at this here, 1/2 inch plate. That's probably a 1/2 inch plate. Look at that. That's bigger than 1/2 inch plate. That's probably 5/8 or 3/4. It'd weigh a fair bit. Look how old the tyres are. Would have done some work. There's a fair bit of history involved in these old skidders. This machine is a Garrett tree farmer skidder, which is pretty rare in Australia. I don't know whether, I guess they probably don't make them anymore, but the idea about it being so manoeuvrable with the grapple, they could just reverse up to a log or whatever, or logs, and articulate around, put the grapple straight over top of the log, grab it, then drive off. When they got to where they were going, where they wanted to dump the logs, they could just release the grapple and drive off back to get the next collection of logs. Apparently Dwight Garrett designed this idea with an articulated skidder back in about 1949, from what I can believe. There's a shot looking at the side of the engine. You can see the blower on the side there, 2-stroke Detroit. You can see there it's been sitting for a long time. It's got plenty of cobwebs around the place. The present owner said he bought it and he was going to pull the grapple off it and put on another skidder, on a timber jack skidder. And he changed his mind and he went out and he bought a Caterpillar skidder instead. So then this project just got pushed aside. But from what we gather, this thing is for sale. We really don't have any history, and the fellow that owns it now, he doesn't know anything about it because he just bought it to use the grapple, so he doesn't really know anything else about it. He's never heard it run, and he thought that the previous owner before him, from what he could gather, he didn't think he'd ever heard it run either. So we don't know how long the engine's been standing for. Got a massive blade on it. The blade's not extremely high. It's only a low blade, but it is really built out of heavy material. Look at that. That's probably more than 1/2 inch plate there. They've got this here to stop the logs getting up over the top. If they're pushing logs around just so they get back into a log dump, that's where they store the logs until they pick them up with a loader and put them on a truck. So they've got to push them around and get them all as tight as they can and make them nice and compact for the loader to pick up. So as they're pushing stuff, we don't want the log getting up on top here. So that's why they've got these here. Plus it's low enough too that the operator can still look down through here and they can see what's going on, whereas if they had a blade this high, well, it'd be pretty hard to look down on the corners. Look at the size of the planetary reduction on the end of the axles there. Look at the size of that. That's massive. That tyre's still got air in it. That one's still got air in it too. This would be the winch off it here. Now, Car, I think Car was a company that built parts for sawmills, or they actually manufactured stuff for saw benches or whatever in sawmills. So I don't know whether they had something to do with the machine originally or not. This will be the transmission here. Everything's pretty rusty. Heap of discs in there, they're all pretty rusty. Yeah, everything there's pretty rusty. I doubt it would go again. Not with those parts anyway. There's a stack of plates in here. They look like they're nearly too far gone. This whole show opens up. It opens right up. It opens right up, and then they can either back up to a log or they can articulate around and grab a log from over there, take it off to where their log dump is, dump it, come back, do the same thing. They've just got to pull a lever in the cab. This will open out, lower it down. There's a couple of big rams up there which will lower it down. Close the grapple up, grab the log, and away they go. This part looks in pretty good condition around here. All these pins and everything still look pretty tight. That could be something that could be very useful to somebody that had a log skidder but didn't have a grapple. If they didn't have grapples, they probably just had winches, or they just use chains. They just back up, and the trouble with the chains idea is when you've got a log there that's laying on the ground, You can't just push the chain underneath it, so you've got to dig your way through with a crowbar or whatever, and then try and get the chain to go through underneath the log before you can wrap it round and hook it on the machine and away you go. This idea here, if they're going down a hill or down a mountainside and they've got a heap of logs on the back, and all of a sudden the logs decide to run forward, this is so they don't wreck all your tyres. They're just like, well, they're like giant mud guards, I suppose you'd say, but look how thick they are. One on either side. You see some of the later model stuff they'll have they've made a little bit different around the back here, but just depending on which brand you look at. Look in here, look at that still turns. Look at that. That's amazing. The winch wire would probably run over the top of this, I would imagine. I'm surprised, look how nicely that turns. Huh. That's amazing. You can see here it's had some pretty hard bangs. I don't know what would have happened there, but we've got a bit of a crack coming in the well there, another crack coming over here, but look inside, look how massive they are inside. Look around in here. Look how this is all beefed up inside here. Is that the wasp nest sitting down in there? I've been looking, I thought there might be some wasps here somewhere, but so far we haven't come across any. The tyres would certainly have to be replaced if you're going to bring it back to a working machine again. These probably are wire armoured. Most of these skidders, they had layers of wire underneath the rubber, then people could drive over top of stumps or sharp rocks or anything. You can see it, how they've just about been worn away, but they haven't been staked anywhere that we can see. I'm just checking the oil here now. Where's the full mark? Yep, slightly above the full mark. That looks pretty good. Pretty firm, all right. The motor in it seems pretty tight, but we don't think the water's got down the exhaust. It has got a joint on the exhaust right here, and it's got a dent right here. There is a chance water may have got in behind this clamp and run down the inside. Oh, that looks pretty good. It's got a stainless steel muffler on there, so that part's pretty good. It's just that bit there. No sign of any water. I think I might pull this plate off the side here, see if I can get that off and have a look in at the end of the air cleaner and see if it's got a clamp or something around there to hold the pre-cleaner on. There's a shot looking across the dash. There's the control bank. The transmission would have sat in there. Yep, come out with that broken. The trick with these bolts are just try and loosen them a bit, then run them back the other way. Because if I just try and unscrew them all in one go, probably break them off. There we are. I need a torch. It looks like that pre-cleaner is part of the air cleaner. Looks like that's got to come off too. It looks like the air cleaner lifts off with the bonnet, but this has got to be undone around here, I'd say. It's got a flexible hose right there. No. I think the engine might be stuck. I cannot move it. No, nothing. No, it's been sitting that long. It's probably got rust on the bore, but it looks like we're going to get a bit more of our rain too. See the spots all arriving here? The rain is just arriving. So I think I'll go and put that cover back on. Just going to put a little bit of oil on these bolts here that go over that air cleaner cover. So if someone in the future has another go at it, they might be able to get them undone easy. I ran the risk of whether I was going to break them or not. Some people reckon the rattle guns are better at undoing them than just a lever, because they're getting that impact and it's even all the way around. Whereas if you put a socket on there and a lever and you're pulling, you know, you're just sort of pulling the whole bolt over one way. Whereas this, well, it's more even. It's rattling all the way around. I won't do them up too tight. With the engine being that tight, I'm not really going to try and do much more today, and we haven't really got the right equipment here to really put a big heap of weight on that bottom, on the crankshaft bolt on the end there that's holding the pulley on. So if we're going to do anything with it, we might have to come back and have a go at that another day and be a bit more ready to do the job. What do we got there? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there that's pretty badly seized. Yeah, there's a real process here to try and get this thing to go, and the first thing is to have some heat. Try and get the exhaust pipe off up the top there where it's rusted on pretty badly, or underneath. Then once the exhaust pipe's out the way, the next thing is to try and pull the bonnet off, get that off. If you had some heat here and heated these up a bit and sprayed them with some WD-40 or whatever, that'd probably help them a bit too. And once you've got the bonnet off out the way, well, then you could lift the rocker cover or the tappet cover and get in and see if the injectors are free. I'm not quite game just to put a battery on there to spin the thing over, just in case it does fire up, even though I don't think it would. But if it starts up and it just revs and revs and revs and I can't shut it down, well then I've just wrecked a good engine. I don't want to do that. I can't even get the air cleaner off up there. I thought if I could pull that air cleaner off, and I tried to crank it then, well I've got a piece of heavy mud flap material there. I could probably just jam on top and shut it down like that, but that's all been silicone on and it's probably got rust on there as well. It looks like there's no way that's going to come off in a big hurry anyway. Not really the video I wanted to make, but there might be people sitting around on a Saturday or Sunday morning with nothing else to look at, and they might be able to have a bit of a look at this monster and see what they think about it. That'll be about it for this video, so until next time, thanks very much for watching.